Yo, what's good, gamers? We're back at it again. Yippee! Yahoo! Ow, wow, wow, wow! Alright, now while people show up, I am going to go ahead and, of course, send the posts for my little tier list thing. We're just jamming today, bro. Back at it again with the Smash Bros roster. There we go. Come see who gets added. Link. There we go. Oh wait, hold on. Now I gotta get the link. Alright, share, copy link, and paste. Done. Shrink that down a little. Alright. Add to my story. What a banger song! Alrighty. Every captain needs a crew. I think I'll do one for TikTok as well. Using tier list maker. Let me add a little background to this. There we go. There we go. I've never done this on I've never done this on TikTok, so maybe hopefully it'll be good still. Want to make sure the Okay, the audio's not too crazy. We're chilling. All right, so we're back at it again. It's good to be back. Welcome back, everybody. I think I'm gonna open up my window. Need some good old sunlight. And then once I do that, I will get started. But we've got a lot ahead of us. It's going to be exciting stuff. Alrighty. We got some sunlight. It's feeling good. Yippee! Yippee! Yahoo! Yay! Alright, so quick little recap based on, what we've done before. Quick little recap. We have gone through the list of the regular characters that have already been in a Smash Brothers game. We've already gone through those. Some of them are, or actually the majority of them, are in yes. But there are some, such as these guys, that are in the maybe tier. It's not because I don't want them. It's just because, I have my own reasons for them. I've said it in the previous streams, and I'll probably say it again. But certain characters, like Ness and Jigglypuff, while they are staples of Smash Brothers, I do not feel that they would be in another Smash game. I don't think they'd be in any games if they weren't in the first one, If they were not characters in Smash 64, I legitimately do not think they would have been put into a Smash Brothers game after the fact. So that's kind of my reasoning behind that. But that's only for, Ness and Jigglypuff. A couple of the other ones, they either seem, redundant, they're not as important as characters that are already in here. But I will be coming back to all of these characters in the maybe tier once I get through the rest of this list. But after we went through the characters that have already been in a Smash Brothers game, like Mario and Sonic and Pac-Man and Ryu and all that stuff, we went through characters that have already, they're a part of the franchise that have already been represented in Smash Brothers. So, for example, you've got, the Mario series. Obviously, Waluigi wasn't in a Smash Brothers game before, but I added him because I think he deserves it. He should be a little more on the wacky party game side of Mario games, like a representation of those. Kind of like how I am going to bring back Daisy, but I have a little rule for myself with this list. I'm not going to be adding characters because of like an Echo Fighter kind of thing. I'm not, which is why Dark Samus is not on here, because even though Dark Samus is, a cool character, I don't think Dark Samus is different enough to be put into Smash. You know what I mean? She's not unique enough. And if they are added, like if a previous Echo Fighter is added, such as Daisy, I would, in my little hypothetical, make my own Smash Brothers roster thing. I would give Daisy a different moveset to represent the sports games, because Daisy's always in the sports games, and she's kind of the more energetic and sporty princess compared to, Peach, who's a little more regal, and she has like the costume stuff from Princess Peach Showtime, or Rosalina, who has the Luma and like the star mechanics and all that stuff. And with Waluigi, he wouldn't just be a clone of Wario; he would kind of be a representation of the wacky Mario games, like Mario Party, Mario DDR Remix, stuff like that. I think he would focus mainly on Mario Party, because even though he debuted in Mario Tennis, I think Mario or Waluigi being like a Mario Party kind of guy would be kind of fits him a little more, like a Waluigi Casino vibe. Paper Mario and Baby Mario and Luigi, I think, are really fun additions. Because Paper Mario, you could do a whole lot of stuff with like him folding up, turning into different like origami type stuff. You could even have him be time based, where I think there's another character in Smash who already does this, but if you hit the attack button to initiate an attack, and then you hit the attack button again when it hits somebody, it does extra damage compared to if you had just hit the regular attack button and that's it. It could be like based on the mechanics of the fighting in Paper Mario. He's all based on, the timing of the attacks, which I think would be cool. And then, since I have Ice Climbers in, maybe, I think a fun, more iconic replacement for them could be Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, where to represent the Mario and Luigi games, you could have it be like the A button, kind of like Min Min, where like the A button would only do one arm and the B button would do another arm. Mario and Luigi would be controlled by separate buttons. They would all obviously like stay together, but the A button would be all Baby Mario and the B button would be all Baby Luigi. And I think that would just be fun to have to have the babies represented, and you could have their costumes be the different other babies that have shown up in the series. Kamek could be fun. I think out of all the Mario villains, or like the enemies in the games, Kamek is really popular, and it adds like a magic character to Mario. Dixie Kong, I feel like she might be a little similar to Diddy, but with her double jump and stuff like that, based on her later incarnations, I think she could be a little bit more unique. Plus, it kind of rounds out that little trio of the Donkey Kong crew. I'm keeping Young Link. I know I talked about not having copy characters, but I do want to keep Young Link because I would have him based off of Majora's Mask, Young Link, where he has access to the masks, just to diversify the types of characters you can have in the Legend of Zelda Smash characters. I think that'd be a little more fun. I'm hesitant on Sheik, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and put Sheik in maybe, because there are other characters on here, like down here, because you've got the champions and Impa, and I'm kind of hesitant because Sheik's only shown up in one game. Impa's kind of been around for a lot longer, and I think based on just the Age of Calamity game, you have a lot more that you can do with Impa as a character. The champions, I would love to add them, but I think it's hard to just add one. It's either you add all four of them or just one of them, and the roster's already kind of big right now. And it's specifically the Zelda section, and I don't want to bloat it out with just a lot of extra characters just to like buff out the roster. Um, Mario's a little different because he's like the main guy, but I'm also trying not to overdo it with just Mario characters either. Samus or Metroid, it's kind of hard to. Oh shit! I forgot about Wolf Link. Wolf Link would be cool. I'd love to add Wolf Link. And Midna as well, just to have that a different kind of fighter, kind of like a Duck Hunt thing, where your Duck Hunt's in the maybe pile. So I guess I'm just kind of replacing these retro characters with something that's a little more iconic, a little more endearing of a character. And Skull Kid, I think he deserves a shot as like a character. But yeah, Samus and Ridley 100% got to be in. Zero Suit Samus, I think, is a fun alternate to Samus, and she's got a very different moveset. I think I have the Emmy. Yeah, I have the Emmy down here, and Silas, but I don't know if either of those guys, or even Ravenbeak, I think that's his name. I don't think any of these guys are like as iconic as these three, so it's kind of hard to add them. Kirby, we're chilling with these four. I don't think we need any more, but we do have Magolor, Marks, King Puff, and Susie, or Prince Fluff. My bad. But they're like backups just in case. Star Fox, honestly, I could do without him, but he is kind of iconic with Nintendo. A little bit more in my eyes than Ness or Jigglypuff. So I think he deserves to stay. Same thing with Captain Falcon, because neither of them have had like a solid modern game to really cement their legacy, I guess. Pokemon, though, was really fun. Last stream, we went through fuck ton of Pokemon. Where are they? Yeah, all of these up here. We went through all these Pokemon. Just looking for something iconic, unique, something without type overlaps. So like, no, I didn't want any other electric types, psychic types, water, grass, or fire types. But I think Garchomp is a shoo-in. I'm surprised they haven't been added. And then Tinkaton. That's probably the most iconic modern Pokemon? Or popular. Most popular modern Pokemon. I already said Captain Falcon. But similar to Star Fox, I think he kind of represents the series just by himself. I don't think we need any other characters except for, like, maybe this guy. But I know nothing about him, and you can just get the point across with Captain Falcon that it's a racing game. Fire Emblem was interesting. Obviously, we got Marth and Ike, because those are the more iconic guys, because they've been in the longest. Marth, because he's literally the first protagonist of Fire Emblem, and Ike, because he was in a couple of those GameCube games, and that kind of tided Fire Emblem over until the 3DS games. Speaking of which, a few of these Fire Emblem guys are down here. Let me actually move them all together, because I know that Fire Emblem has a lot of characters in this roster, or in the base roster already, but similar to why I didn't want to do a lot of Echo Fighters, I didn't just want it to be a bunch of anime swordsmen. If I am going to add an anime swordsman, I want it to be really unique, right? So, that's why I like Roy. I love him, but he's very similar to Marth. He's kind of like a mix of Marth and Ike. Chrom is basically just Ike. Robin is an interesting one, because they've got the magic aspect, which is a little more different. So they're probably a little higher on the maybe tier. Same thing with Corrin. It is just another. It is another sword fighter. But they've got that dragon element to them, which is pretty cool. And then the protagonist from Engage is also there in the maybe because of their ability to kind of, summon previous Fire Emblem people, which could be a fun, like maybe if their whole move set is based on that one move that Zelda has with the Dark Knight kind of thing, right? Where they just summon Fire Emblem characters, which could be a way to represent the series more in just one character. But I feel like what gets that across more is Byleth, because Byleth has the ability to use multiple weapons in their moveset, and that allows them to showcase the different types of weapons that you can have in Fire Emblem without having to dedicate a whole moveset to just a bow person, just a sword person, just a lance or a whip or whatever. They kind of have it all together. I think the worst thing about Byleth is the fact that they were announced as a DLC fighter. I think that really ruined people's perception of Fire Emblem in Smash specifically, and it made people not really like the character or see the character for what they were, which is just a showcase of all the stuff you can do in Fire Emblem combat-wise. And I also threw in Lyn because, similar to Marth, she's the first protagonist of Fire Emblem, but specifically for the Western audience from the Game Boy Fire Emblem game. And that was a lot of people's first exposure to Fire Emblem over here. And I feel like with her thing having the long sword, that's a little unique, And lady reps, we need some of those. It's a lot of dudes in video games, so we're switching it up with that. Mr. Game & Watch, unlike the other retro picks down here like Duck Hunt and Ice Climbers, I feel actually conveys that retro vibe really well, and it showcases a whole era of Nintendo history, kind of similar to Rob, which is why I'm hesitant to add him or not, because Rob is really unique, but I guess he can showcase like the toy side of Nintendo. But for now, that's why Rob's in maybe, right? Pit, I know he's a big deal. I know Sakurai loves him, and it might be different if we had a Kid Icarus like port, like a more recent port of Kid Icarus Uprising, or even a new game in the series. I was saying in the last stream that a cool way to bring Kid Icarus over to a more modern audience compared to the 3DS era was if they could do like a Kid Icarus Uprising port for the Switch 2 using, the mouse mechanics of instead of the touchscreen mechanics of Kid Icarus Uprising. I think that could be so cool. But that's why I only have Pit, because Dark Pit, he's just he's a copy, at least in the game, in Smash. And then Palutena, I'm not really interested in Palutena. We can have more interesting, tankier characters, and I think I'm looking to add some of those later in some later options. Snake is back. He's famous for being that first big third-party rep, and I also added Raiden to have a little difference with Snake instead of just regular Raiden, whichever one. Sonic's in. Shadow's also in. I have a few Sonic characters in the maybe tier, but it's tough to add them because I would love to add Eggman, but he's kind of difficult because it would be like making Bowser Jr., but like 2 or 3 times as big. And unless you make him like really slow or something, I think it would be hard to add Eggman as a fighter. He's just in maybe because, he's Eggman. Amy Rose, I love her. Knuckles, I love him, and the Werehog, I think would be really fun characters. But I feel like you kind of have to have. Oh, and if you're wondering where Tails is over here as an assist trophy. We were coming up with ideas before about how you could have Tails like follow you around like a player 2, like how he is in Sonic 2, where if you jump or attack somebody, he will jump and attack them. He'll just copy your movements, and if you jump off the stage, maybe he can save you. It's like a one-time he grabs you and pulls you back up kind of thing. I think that could be really fun. And that's my mentality with the assist trophy, stage hazard, Pokeball stuff, where instead of just focusing on only whether a character gets in or not, this is kind of like a secondary and even like a tertiary. Yeah, sure, you're in. Because like I might not want to add Funky Kong as his own unique character, but he makes sense for a really cool DK skin, and honestly, I'll probably put some of these other characters in as assist trophies too, if they don't get in as a character. Just because it would feel a little wrong to have somebody like I don't know, maybe Boom Boom could be an assist trophy. Who fucking knows? Olimar's in, but he represents the whole series really well. Same thing with Villager. Mega Man is in, and to represent the more modern Mega Man games, or like the X series of games, I brought in Zero. Because I know there's Proto Man, I know there's Bass, I know there's Mega Man X, but you could either make those skins, or you could have him show up in a Final Smash or something. Pac-Man represents the series. Shulk is here for Xenoblade. I have the other protagonists here, but I'm unsure if I need to add them. Pyra and Mythra probably the most is the most likely, because I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't played any Xenoblade game, but each protagonist in each like game has a different vibe to them, and I feel like you can get the vibes of Xenoblade across with just Shulk and maybe Pyramithra. I feel like this might be a little redundant for adding for characters. Ryu and Chun-Li, swapping out Chun-Li with Ken, just because if I'm not doing the Echo Fighters, so Chun-Li just makes a lot more sense for a compatriot to Ryu. Also, I've got Bison and Zangief and Akuma down here. I feel like Bison or Zangief are most likely to be added if I go back, but for now it's just Ryu and Chun-Li. Cloud and Sephiroth, I don't really have to think too hard about that. I don't even know who else from Final Fantasy, other than maybe a Dark Knight, or a Dark Mage, sorry. I don't think anybody else would kind of make sense unless it was a Chocobo or Moogle, but I added those as assist trophies. So a little more of a common rep. Bayonetta, of course. Inkling, of course. Castlevania, I have Simon, and I removed Richter in favor of Alucard, because that's just way more interesting to me. And then we got the Dragon Quest Hero, because it's so iconic in in Japan especially, but just for RPGs as a whole, I think it's really really important to have that in the game. Minecraft, of course. Kazuya, of course. Kind of like Ryu. It's showcasing a part of fighting games or a different type of fighting game, which is why I don't have Terry Bogard here, because Terry Bogard, I feel like if you had to pick between Ryu and Terry, everyone's gonna pick Ryu. SNK can show up as like assist trophies or something, I don't know. But Tekken has a 3D aspect to it. It's a little more different of a fighting game, so that's why he's there. And I've got the Miis because I love them. And if anybody's not on the list, you can just make a Mii of them. But all that to say, it is time to really start on the new stuff. So let me go ahead and scroll on down. We've got a whole new thing for no, but because the first no list got so big, I had to scroll for forever to get through it. So we've got a new no list. For now, though, we will start with... Oh yeah, real quick as well. Like I said, these were all characters from games that have already been represented in Smash Brothers. What we have here for the rest of the list is full of characters that have not been represented in Smash at all. Maybe they've had some assist trophies, or maybe they've had like a spirit or something like that, or just a regular trophy. But for the most part, these are all characters from franchises and stuff that have not been represented. So if they don't get in, it's like that whole thing, that whole franchise is not a part of it. I think off the bat with Advance Wars, it could be cool. I don't know how you would make them. I don't know how you would convey Advance Wars as a fighter. That's the thing I'm struggling with. Maybe you could kind of like Minecraft Steve, where you attack and you gain points, and you can spend that on units around the field. Kind of like tower defense kind of stuff. But I feel like it might be easier to have this guy specifically be like an assist trophy, and he just spawns like a tank, and he rides around in a tank and shoots stuff. I don't know how else to really represent Advance Wars other than an assist trophy, because I feel like it's too interesting to not have in the game, but it's not deep enough, or it's too confusing of a concept to have them be their own fighter, you know. But for these other two, probably not. You could have them swap out for the Advance Wars trophy, but probably not. Astral Chain is a cool one. I've really wanted to play this game for a while. It's always on my list, but I don't think you would have to. This would have to be like a multiverses kind of game, where it's kind of based on two-player fighters, or two fighters fighting together in team battles in order for it to be an interesting fighter concept. I don't know who this dog is, so the dog's probably not getting in. Mr. Kawashima, I believe, he's an assist trophy already, so he deserves to just put numbers on the screen. I don't think the Brain Age guy deserves to be in, though. I think Mr. Kawashima he has a certain aura to him. Captain Rainbow, probably not, unless somebody really wants Captain Rainbow in the game. Probably not. Chibi Robo is an interesting one, because I really like Chibi Robo. I've never played any of the games, but I think he definitely deserves a shot, so I'm gonna put him in maybe for now, right? Just in case there's super Chibi Robo lovers out there. This is just based on this initial culling is just based on my personal preference. If I super feel like they shouldn't be in, like this guy, probably shouldn't be in. I think this is from that Famicom detective game. Isaac is, I mean, he's an assist trophy, so I'll put him in as maybe, but I think we've got enough RPG protagonists in the game. I don't know if Isaac is as unique as the other ones, but I can leave that to somebody who has played a Golden Sun game. I think this guy's also from the Famicom thing. The NPC from Nintendo Land, I'm good. The Nintendog, that's an assist trophy. Pushmo, I think could be a fun... That could be a fun assist trophy. Where maybe he like shows up and just kind of walks and pushes whoever's there and they can't move. Kind of like a slower moving version of that little bee hornet thing that you throw, the item. Where like you throw it and it just goes in a straight line, grabs somebody, and just pulls them straight up. That could be fun. Balloon fight guy, I think I'm alright. Actually, I'm gonna change this to also no. Balloon fight, it's got a stage. I don't even think balloon fight would work as an assist trophy unless you wanted to give people balloons. Like, it would be an item if somebody has balloons, but I don't think it would work. I don't know this guy. I think it's from an NES game though. I think Excitebike guy, maybe not a character, but definitely an assist trophy. Where like you spawn, I think it's already an assist trophy, where you spawn them and then a bunch of little Excitebike guys show up and kind of roll around. That could be fun. I think this guy's also from that, but I don't think we need that. I'm pretty sure this is from The Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but I don't think we need that. Foreman Spike. I mean, he's more popular now due to the Mario movie, but I think we've got enough assist trophies that just kind of walk around and hit you with a hammer. Kind of like, I mean, we've got Hammer Bro and like Bonks, I think is his name. So I don't want to overdo it. He could just be like a background character in the Wrecking Crew stage. This guy, he's already like Pukomon or whatever. He's already an assist trophy, so he stays. This guy's also an assist trophy, so he'll stay too. I don't know who this is. I think these are just all from Rhythm Heaven. I know the Choir Kids and Karate Joe that was like part of that leak for Smash Ultimate. But I don't really think anything from Rhythm Heaven can really like be a character. Karate Joe would be kind of limited, you know. And we already have Paper Mario for the timing based character. Oh, okay. So when I was going through the list before, you might have been like, where the fricky dicky is Wii Fit Trainer? I removed Wii Fit Trainer from the equation. They are gone. I think I have them. Yeah, I have them up here. Not because I don't like them, but because Wii Fit's kind of old news. I planned on replacing them with the Ring Fit Adventure protagonist. I think they're a lot more interesting, and there's a lot more stuff you can do, especially with the ring, with like the wind mechanics and like the squeezing of it and the pulling of it. I think that could be a really fun character to represent the more like, I guess, the fitness games. So Ring Fit Trainer is in, and that way you don't have to worry about holding on to the Wii legacy and all that. It would just really be the Mii's. I don't know who this is. We're good. Master Hand and Crazy Hand. I don't think they should be characters or like fighters. If anything, they could be like a rare. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it could be cool if there was a chance that one of them would show up on Final Destination. I think that could be interesting. But on the whole, I don't think Crazy Hand or Master Hand would get in as a fighter. Same thing with the enemy grunt thing from Subspace Emissary. The punching bag, however, I think could be funny as a fighter. I know that Super Smash Flash is a thing where they have their own fight, like their moveset, but I like the idea of having them as a punching bag. Vati, nah, he's a boss. Starfy is in the game as an assist trophy. And I think that works for him. I think he's crushing it in that role. You don't have to worry, because the roster, here's the thing about the roster. It should be like for the heavy hitter type stuff. Like this is the system the game seller characters. I don't know if Starfy being added to the roster or being announced to be a part of the roster is really gonna be like, I don't know if that would boost sales like crazy, you know? I want the new additions to really knock some people's socks off. Which is why this person and Mari, I think, and the Flipnote Frog probably not gonna get in. This girl though, the Swapnote girl, her as an assist trophy is really fun. I like her. That's a fun little thing. The Nintendo Labo, I don't think we need that. The warning of like swinging your Wii remote around too hard, I don't think we need that. I know this is from like a store or like a game where it's this dog in the store. From like Japan or something. I don't really want him. I think we're good. Phoenix Wright, I think, is a really good contender. I mean, I know he's already been in Marvel vs. Capcom, but that's kind of a big reason why I would want him to be added. Everybody else though, probably not. Maybe Edgeworth or maybe Apollo, but I don't think any other character will kind of get it across like Phoenix Wright. But Phoenix Wright as a fighter would be really fun. I think that would be a really fun one. I don't think we need anybody from Apex Legends. I don't think we need Balan Wonderworld. I love the character design, but character-wise, probably not. I think we're good. The Battletoads would be fun as, like, to be added. But honestly, I think they'd be more fun as maybe like an assist trophy. Like you spawn them and then they all like jump out, maybe they pose together, and then they start doing random beat 'em up things where they just like do the jump dive kick, they grab somebody and like throw them towards the screen or whatever. Like, I could see these guys being fun assist trophies, but I don't think they would get in as fighters. If I could like merge all these guys into one, I definitely would though. Billy Hatcher, I mean, he had one game. I like his character design, but I don't think he's getting in. Same thing with this Bioshock looking guy. Same thing with this lady and this guy. There's a lot of anime fighter people on here. But I think, like I was saying, based on like being iconic, a lot of these characters are probably not gonna get in. So I'm sorry to to anybody who's like seeing me like remove this character and you're like, no, she's great. I'm sorry, but it must be done. For the sanctity of the roster, we're just gonna get through a lot of these characters. I think off the cuff, if I don't know who the character is, I'm already like skeptical of adding them or not. Bomberman, he's already an assist trophy, but I think they could be I think he could be a really fun fighter. I just don't know how you would do it, because his assist trophy kind of gets that across already. But I don't know. I'll put him in maybe for now, just because when I was waiting for Smash Ultimate to come out, I remember really wanting Bomberman to be a character for some reason. I don't know who that is. I think this one is from Bravely Default, but we're good. I don't think we need Bubsy in the game. Chrono Trigger would be cool, having a Chrono Trigger rep, but I think we've already got the Toriyama RPG character with Hero. I don't think we need to double down or double dip. Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds kind of fun, at least as an assist trophy. So I'll put the Barbarian in maybe. Not that he would be a fighter, but I think it could be a fun assist trophy where like you spawn the Barbarian. I don't think we need the King though. Same thing. I don't think we need Club Penguin. I know it would be a showcase of like the online community game reps, but I don't think I don't think you would be able to make a like a fighter moveset based on Club Penguin. Conquer. I love Conquer. He hasn't done anything since that weird Connect game. I'll still put him here. Maybe he could like team up with Banjo, but Banjo is also in the maybe tier. So I don't know. I'll have Conquer here as a maybe. Cookie Run is an interesting one. When I was going through when I was a kid and the first Cookie Run game came out, I fucking loved playing it. Cookie Run was awesome, and then it disappeared for a while, and then it came back and became like a gacha game, and now it's super popular. So I'm very happy for them. I don't think they would be getting in though, because they're not like Clash of Clans or Angry Birds level of popular. You know what I mean? Cooking Mama would be awesome. I don't know how you would make like a fighter moveset for her. Maybe she could be an assist trophy, but for now I'm putting her in maybe. Again, this main first part is like a sifting. Crash Bandicoot 100% deserves to be in. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any, but actually he's Sony. No. Crash Bandicoot 100% I think should be in Smash Brothers. I don't think Dingodile. Maybe Cortex. Probably not his sister. Probably not Tanya. I don't know why the checkpoint box is there. Aku Aku would be fun as an assist trophy or an item. Maybe he could like follow you around and you completely negate the damage of maybe like an ult or like a smash ball move, you know? Or Final Smash, sorry. I've been playing so much Marvel Rivals, so I just call everything an ult. But Aku Aku would be cool. What do we got? Oh my god. We've got Danganronpa. I don't think we need anybody from them. Maybe this guy, but I've never played the games. They're like a mystery who killed who kind of thriller kind of game. So I don't know. Maybe this guy just to have a rep for the series, but I'm not. I'm not really feeling it. You know. I think. Ooh, a Dark Souls character, like the knight from Dark Souls. That could be cool. Same thing with Mr. Salute the Sun. Either one of those guys could be cool. Maybe like a chunkier, really slow roller kind of fighter. Because I don't think we have a dedicated like tank knight kind of fighter. You know, the closest you would get is like Ike or something. But I don't know. I think that could be a cool like rep for the really hard, like that kind of Souls-like type games. Now we're in Darkstalkers. I think Felicia could be cool, just based on like being an icon of their games. Same thing with like this guy. I forget his name though. Jevil. I don't think Lilith. Maybe Morgan would be the most popular one though. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and put her in maybe. It's kind of same thing with Phoenix Wright and her being like the Capcom reps. I think those could be fun. Really, really interesting, different characters. Frank West could be cool, but I feel like he would be more, unless he, again, like Marvel vs. Capcom. I don't know if he would be a fighter. I feel like he would be more of an assist trophy where he show up, snap a photo, and be like, fantastic, and like say whatever. He might even operate similarly to that one assist trophy from the Fatal Frame, where he tries to like find you on the stage and take your photo. I think that could be cool. Dante, I think, is a definite, like a high maybe. People really want Dante in the game. Just for that kind of like hack and slash, kill the other guys really fast game. I don't know if anybody else, maybe Virgil, but I don't know. If Dante doesn't get in, I don't think Virgil or anybody else would get in. Digimon. I don't know much about Digimon. All I know is that this guy is like the main guy. So if they were to add him, I feel like he'd be an assist trophy. So I'll put him here for now, just to have some rep. But every other Digimon I think we can do without, probably. Doom Guy would be so cool. I'm only hesitant because he's like so violent. There's like so much gore in those games, and I'm trying to be a smidge realistic, but that's why he's in maybe. I can be convinced. I think this is from the Warriors games, or from like Elden Ring or something, but I don't think we need that. Little Fallout Boy, the little Pit Boy. It could work, but I don't know. Like, how do you represent the series of Fallout other than this guy? Unless you do somebody in like a Brotherhood armor or something. Maybe this guy could just be like real goofy, showing off the different charisma stats and stuff like that. But I'll go ahead and put him in maybe. I think that could be fun. That could be a fun pick. Okay. Fortnite's interesting. I think if you're gonna add anybody, it would probably be Jonesy or Peely. I've only played like a itty bitty bit of Fortnite. I know how big it is. I don't know how you would make it a fighter, or I don't know how you would turn a character from Fortnite into a fighter other than make them similar to Minecraft Steve and give them a gun. You know, with like the building mechanics and give them a gun. But I don't know. I'm not too sure about how to make Mr. Fortnite work. So like I know it's big, so I think based on that alone, I'll put him in maybe. I'll put Peely there too, because he's kind of popular. But everybody else, I don't think Ninja or Dwayne The Rock Johnson should be in the game. Gex, I mean, he's popular, or he was in the 90s, but I don't think we need him in the game. I think Kratos would be an awesome pick. That would be a really awesome pick to put in the game. But again, kind of like Doom Guy, he's a little violent, a little bit of an angry lad. So I'll have to like revisit Kratos later. And now we're at, what is this? Oh my god, what's it called? I'm blanking on it. Soul Bad Guy. Wherever he is, whatever game he's a part of, where's that bitch? There he is. Solid maybe tier for him. I know that these games are like super big, and so I feel like some of the characters could definitely get in. They have a much better chance. Like, I think this guy's name is Faust. But I think if you don't get Mr. Soul Bad Guy, you're probably not going to get the rest of these guys. And there's so many of these characters. Oh my lord. Oh, Dolphin Girl. She's fun. There's Big Man. And then the goth person. Then there's more. I forgot. Damn, they put the whole damn roster here. Half-Life. Probably not these two. If anything, it would be Mr. Freeman. But like the gravity gun could be really cool. So I'll put him in maybe. I don't think, what was this guy's name? Chuck? I can't remember. I don't think he'd get in. I don't think the Grunt would get in. I think Master Chief 100% would get in. That would be so cool. Could you imagine if the next Smash Brothers game, Master Chief gets added? That would be fucking awesome. I would pay Nintendo even more money for Mr. Halo in my game. Katamari would be a fun one, but I think that works better as an assist trophy. Maybe he like rolls the ball around the stage and it slowly gets bigger. Klonoa. Klonoa is an interesting one because I know they're like really popular for like the Klonoa fans, and they had those remakes recently, and he's got a very unique play style. I think it's a definite maybe. I think they're definitely less popular than, like, Klonoa's less popular than Katamari and Digimon and stuff like that. So I feel like, if anything, they would be like an assist trophy. But for now, I'll put them in maybe. We'll see how that goes. I don't know who this is. I think this guy is from that Wii game that was really like M-rated. But I think we're good on that. Monkey Ball, Mr. II would be a fun assist trophy. Maybe he could like show up and whichever side of the stage he rolled onto, it like tilted the whole stage that way. But everybody else, I don't think we need the rest of the monkeys. Monster Hunter would be really cool. I would like to see that as a rep. Uh, Maybe a Palico, but also probably not. Where did it? There it is. Probably not gonna be in there. Rathalos is already an assist trophy. Somehow he's an assist trophy. Uh, okay. We're at Mortal Kombat. I think off the cuff, Scorpion. Where is he? There it is. Raiden and Sub-Zero are like the guys to be added. I don't think like Baraka or Kano or Jax or Johnny Cage. I don't think they would get in if Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and everybody else didn't get in. So for this, I think Scorpion. I know that they're very gory games, but you've also had Scorpion in stuff like DC versus Mortal Kombat. You've had him crossover, and he's been toned down in like evilness. But for now, I'll put the three lads, Fire, Lightning, and Ice. I'll put them over here for solid maybe contenders. They're just a little too angry. 2B would be cool. So I'll go ahead, and she's very popular, so I'll put her in maybe. I don't think the rest of these guys would get in. Knights would be a cool assist trophy. Like maybe they fly around and like spawn some rings or something. Or maybe it could be a stage. But I don't know if Knights would be a fighter, you know? Strider would be cool. Because I think, well, I mean, the game started on Nintendo with the, whatchamacallit games. Why am I blanking on names right now? I think he'd be cool, but I don't know if he's popular enough to be like his own character. These are from No More Heroes. I'm not really feeling Travis personally, so I'll keep him down there. I don't know these characters. I'm pretty sure these are from Octopath Traveler, but like I've said, we've got enough RPG protagonists. I don't think we need many of those. Okami would be very cool. I would love to see Okami in the game. But for now I'll do maybe, because she could definitely just be an assist trophy, where she shows up and does some brushstrokes. Kind of like the Bowser Jr. Final Smash. And now we're at Overwatch. I think Tracer and D.Va, Genji, Reaper, Hanzo, Winston, maybe Bastion, May. Like, I'm just looking to see who's like the more of the popular characters, like Widowmaker and stuff. But really, if the hamster got in before Tracer. So I think Tracer's a definite, like a solid maybe. If anything, I feel like I'm kind of feeling yes on Overwatch being added to show like the team fighter games, because there's so many games like that. You know, there's Rivals, there's Overwatch, there's Valorant, there's Warframe. There's like a billion of these team fighter online type games. I feel like Tracer really meets that criteria for being put into a Smash game. especially with like the time movement stuff. You know, like her movement in Smash would be fucking insane. I'm maybe feeling Reaper, maybe Winston, maybe Diva and May, and like Bastion or something. But everybody else, I feel like they've already kind of got something going on, or they're just not as popular. So I'm gonna keep them down here in the no tier. But goddamn, they put a lot of Overwatch characters on this list, huh? All right. Parappa would be so cool. I don't know. I also Unjamalami. I don't think she would get in, but I would love it if Parappa was in the game, just because of like PlayStation All Stars. I feel like at most he would be an assist trophy, but I'll put him in maybe because he's actually had a moveset in a game before. Okay, Plants vs Zombies would be so cool. I think the pea shooter would 100% be an assist trophy. Where you just spawn it and he sits there and just shoots peas in a straight line. That would be so cool. Maybe also the sunflower. I think those would be awesome. And honestly, I think I'm gonna go ahead and add her to the game. Just the portal mechanics alone, I don't know how you would make a moveset based off of that. Actually, you know what? Because of that, I don't know if you would be able to make a moveset based off of that. But that would be so cool. Oh, the little turret bitches. That could be a fun assist trophy. But for now, I'll put Shell in maybe. I don't know how you would do it with like a fighter, but it would be cool. It would be pretty neat. Professor Layton, I don't think would work as a fighter, and if we've already got Phoenix Wright as a maybe, I don't think Professor Layton would get in. But then we've got this. I don't know who they are. Puyo Puyo stuff. That would probably just be like an assist trophy. Or like some colorful things just kind of fall down and do stuff. Maybe if they match, if they randomly fall and match, then it does like an explosion or something. The Rabbids. I'm hesitant. I feel like getting rid of the Mario OC stuff. Rabid Kong would be funny, but as an assist trophy, this is an actual like Rabid OC. I think the Rabid itself would be an assist trophy. Like they show up and go or whatever, and then they maybe like a bunch of them spawn and they just run around and like cover the stage so it's hard to see stuff. Because they're just so, like, that would be their whole thing. They're just annoying, and it's like, get out of the way. Get out. Ratchet and Clank would be cool. So I'll put them in maybe. They could, like, rep their whole series. They're literally the name of their series. That would be cool. Rayman, I think... Yo, Petrol! Welcome, bro. Welcome. You just joined in time for me to add Rayman to the game. How's it going? How's my #1 commenter doing? Rayman, my goat? For real. Dude, so far I've gone through like most of this new section of the characters. It's kind of hard to find like some banger choices. So far, I've added Ring Fit Adventure Trainer. Oh, okay, at a friend's house made dip. No problem. Well, I want your approval then, since you were here the last stream. I want to see what you think so far. I added Ring Fit Trainer, Crash Bandicoot, uh, Master Chief, and Tracer, as well as Rayman to the game. I'm looking for that. Obviously, the icons. So there's a couple I've gone over in the maybe tier. There's a lot in the maybe tier actually. There's like Chibi Robo, Isaac, the Sandbag, or the punching bag, Phoenix Wright, Bomberman, the Barbarian from Clash of Clans. There's a lot of characters in here that I feel like could be really cool additions, but my brain ain't working too well today. I don't want to overthink, so I'm putting them in maybe for now. I think the most likely that I would want to see put over would be like Dante, Phoenix Wright, Doom Guy, Kratos, and like Monster Hunter and Scorpion or something. But that's why I'm keeping them in the maybe, so I can think about it later. And so far in the nose, there's been a couple that I just don't know how you would make a I don't know how you make a fighter of them, and a lot of them are just like, I don't know who some of these characters are. Bubsy's definitely not in. The guy from Chrono Trigger probably not in. The Cookie Run character's probably not in. But I don't know. There was a lot to like sift through. But now we're currently at oh yeah, and there were some assist trophy characters that I added, where like the guy from Advance War could spawn with a tank and just kind of go around and shoot people. Pushmo could like shove you around. The Battletoads could all spawn and just beat people up. Aku Aku could protect you from a bunch of damage. The pea shooter and the sunflower, like if the pea shooter was spawned, they would just shoot peas in a straight line. Sunflower would like heal you if you're in the area or something. I was saying the rabbits would be fun because they could like obscure the stage and just be annoying. Like they wouldn't do damage; they would just be annoying and like distract. But that's kind of where we're at right now. We've still got a nice chunk to go through, but honestly, we're nearing the end. It's not that much longer. Once I get to the end of this, I'm probably gonna end the stream, and then the next stream I do will just be, because this is probably like a quick one since there's so many characters that I'm like, nah, you know, like I'm just going through. But I think after I get through this initial, like all these characters, I'll the next stream will just be going through the maybe tiers and then solidifying who should definitively like get in or not get in, you know. But we're chilling with this for now. I just added Rayman, but I don't think anybody else would get in except for maybe Glowbox. But he could also just show up in the background, you know? Or he could be a skin. Like, you could swap out Rayman with a Glowbox skin or the Teensy skin or something like that. Resident Evil. Well, let me go ahead and just put that guy in no. I don't know who this is, but I don't like him. Resident Evil? Glowbox could for sure just be a skin, yeah. Or like have Rayman have a Glowbox color palette or something like that. Resident Evil's an interesting one. I feel like Wesker and Lady Demetress and Leon are probably the most iconic. I don't think Chris or Jill or maybe Nemesis would get in. I don't know. But Mr. T, Mr. X, probably not gonna get in. it's just tough because it's like a horror game, you know? And there's no horror characters on here. So I don't know how you would add them. If it was like a Marvel vs. Capcom, it would be different. But Lady Demetress, yeah, I don't see any Resident Evil characters getting in for sure. That's kind of tough. But I'm okay with that. I'm not like losing sleep. Bubble Bobble, though, I think deserves to be an assist trophy. If they just showed up and like shot bubbles around, and if you got caught in a bubble, you started like floating away, and you have to break free, that would be cool. I think that'd be fun. Buck Bumble. I mean, he had one game. The only reason he's cool is because of his theme song. So I don't think he would get in. Same thing with this guy. Dig Dug would be cool as an assist trophy, where like he shows up and like shoots you with his little like inflation gun or whatever to like pop you. That'd be kind of messed up. You'd have to like I don't know how you would make. You'd have to make like inflated models for every character in the game, which would be a whole other concerning thing. But I think it could be fun to like have a rep from the arcades in there. Little Dig Dug action. I think this is from Virtua Racer or something, but I don't think we need that. Panel Dipon, you've already got your flower in the game. I don't know who this is. I don't know. I think this is from another fighting game where it's like on a schoolyard, but they're not Ryu. They're not Chun-Li. Honestly, Max from Scribblenauts would be a really cool... I mean, he might work as a fighter. It could be like Hero, where you just randomly spawn a random item. But I feel like... Oh, no problem. Have a great rest of your time at the homie's house. But I don't think Max from Scribblenauts would be... He's like too open-ended to be like a fighter, you know? A little too much. It could be more interesting if he spawned in and then did, like, he randomly spawned like an item, like a tree or a bomb or whatever. I think that would work better as an assist trophy. Then we're in some Persona, or actually Shin Megami Tensei stuff. I don't think we need anybody from these games. We've already got Mr. Persona Joker guy. I think... Oh, actually, did I put Joker from Persona in there? Did I put him in there? I didn't. Oh no, he's in Maybe. He's in Maybe. I'll come back to that, though. Okay, Skylanders... Honestly, I don't think the Skylanders are getting in. I know Toys to Life was its own, like, kind of game genre for a while. But I think if you're going to add any character... Oh, there he is! If you're going to add any character from those games, you've got to add Spyro. But we've already got Crash Bandicoot, you know? Spyro would be an awesome fighter. But I think for now I'm going to put him in Maybe. The dragon from Skyrim? Probably not. These other guys from Skyrim? Probably not. Dragonborn would be cool. But I don't know how you would make him into a character. Because he's kind of just... It's kind of just a blank slate. If anything, he'd be an assist trophy because he goes like Fusroda. Because that's like the most iconic thing from Skyrim. It's just the shout. So I'll put him in Maybe, just so I can think about that later. Snipper clips would be cute for like a stage, but I don't think they'd even be like an assist trophy. I don't know how you would make them into like a fighter mechanic. A lot of characters from fighting. There's so many. The reason this section of the list is so long is because it's all fighting game characters. God dang. Though it makes getting through this part of the list very easy. Oh wait, no, this is this Strider? Which one is? They're both ninjas. They're both doing the same push. You can't blame me. This is from Ninja Gaiden. This is from that other game. But I think they're both in the maybe pile, because I don't think we have like a ninja. Probably not to that guy or that guy or these people. She looks familiar, or he looks familiar. I'm not sure. But I'm not thinking yes. Tamagotchi. Oh, I mean, it could be a representation or a rep for the like the life game. You know, the games that ask you to come back and like check on a creature kind of thing. I don't know how you make them into a fighter or even into an assist trophy though. That's the tough part. TF2. I mean, we've already got Tracer. So I feel like if you're gonna add anybody, it would be Heavy. But I'll put Heavy in the maybe tier. Because if you have Tracer and Scout, it's gonna be like two like fast, quick characters. But I think Heavy's a little more iconic than Scout. He's got that funny face. So I'll put him in the maybe. Everybody else probably not though. Tetris, easily a stage or an assist trophy or a stage hazard. Could you imagine a Tetris stage where you have to like jump on the blocks as they're falling? That would be so cool. I don't know why that hasn't already been a thing. Lara Croft, I think by default deserves to be in maybe, but I don't think she's super unique in terms of like what she can do in the video games that she's in order to be like a character or a fighter, you know? We've got Wonderful 101. We've got some stuff I'm not familiar with at all. There's a lot of filler stuff in here. And I'm sorry if this is somebody's favorite game, but these are not like super duper iconic things, and I feel like Smash should be iconic. Yakuza would be cool, but kind of they're a little too generic or like open-ended for a character. That's like saying you want to add Michael from GTA 5 into Smash. You're like, okay, well, what would he do? He'd fight, he'd punch, and he'd pull out a gun and shoot you. Okay. Is that it? Yokai Watch could be cool. I think it would be more like an assist trophy. But I don't know enough about Yokai Watch, so I'll put that guy in maybe. And I can always come back to it. God damn, there's a lot of yokai stuff. Oh yeah, this guy too. This guy's pretty popular. So I'll put him in the maybe tier for like an assist trophy. And I think from here on, it's all indie games. I think Hat Through Time or A Hat in Time is a really cool game. I think that the protagonist would be an assist trophy, if anything. So I'll put them in maybe. Oh yeah, that guy too. Oh, I love this game. A Short Hike is such a good game. I don't think they would have a rep though. Among Us, not even as a meme, but they would make for a fun character or assist trophy. Just because of like they could have you be the imposter, you know, and you could have like a whole move set based around like jumping into a vent or like attacking somebody with your little spiky tongue kind of thing. I don't think the Bendy characters would get in. I don't think the Bloons characters would get in because you've already got the pea shooter and the sunflower, and I think those are the more important ones. Castle Crashers though. I know Castle Crashers is really like they're like a good modern beat 'em up, but I don't know if they would make it in. Cave Story guy, probably not. Celeste could be a fun assist trophy. Like she could dash around and like attack or something. Because the Celeste was huge. I don't know these characters, unfortunately. The Crypt of the Necrodancer lady, Cult of the Lamb. I mean, Cuphead. Cuphead and Mugman, or sorry, Cuphead has his own skin in the game, so he might be a cool fighter. But I don't think anybody else would be a fighter from here if he didn't get in. Doki Doki Literature Club's not getting in. There's too much creepy, weird adult stuff in there. Fall Guys, I don't think would get in. Maybe as an assist trophy, where you just have a lot of them fall down and like hit you on the way down or something. But I don't think so. Oh god. There's a lot of FNAF here, but I think we can narrow it down. You've got regular Freddy. You've got Freddy and Gregory. You've also got Baby, I guess. And Vanny? And Springtrap. I think Springtrap as well. And maybe like the puppet. I know that Scott Cawthon has said before that he doesn't see his characters as the kind of crossover types of characters. So it's very rare for him to like show that or like have a character cross over with something else. So when Springtrap showed up in Dead by Daylight, you know, that's like one of those rare times when it like actually kind of makes sense because you know it's a murderer, he's a killer, you know. So I think honestly, mechanically, I think Freddy and Gregory would be an interesting dynamic. Because, like, this version of Freddy, he has, like, he can run, he can actually run, he can punch stuff, he can slash through the doors, he has Roxy's voice, he has all that stuff, he has, like, the eye vision or whatever. Compared to regular Freddy, who's, like, a geriatric, like, he just kind of moves at a really slow pace. Springtrap, I'm gonna put as also, maybe. He might be a little too creepy for the kiddos, but I think that'll be okay. You've got just the rest of the squad, just everybody else. But I don't think they're, I don't think any of these characters really would make for good fighters, you know? Freedom Planet, it's a cool indie game, but I don't think they would be a fighter. Boyfriend from Friday Night Funkin', I love Friday Night Funkin', but I don't even know how you'd make him into an assist trophy. You know? If anything, I feel like he would just show up and arrows would come down. and if you got hit by the arrows, you went flying that direction or something like that. Which could be cool, but I don't think. I mean, he's iconic, he's popular, but I don't think he would get in. Same thing with Genshin Impact. It's popular, but I don't think the characters or the game is like that unique enough for popular to get in. Geometry Dash Cube. I think we're good. Same thing with getting over it. Oh, okay. The protagonists from Hades, I think, have a decent shot. Just because these games are fucking so unpopular. Or, so unpopular. These games are so popular. I think those could be a fun character to add to the game. But I think that's just a solid maybe for now. Henry Stickmin, I don't want to think about that. Hollow Knight, or little Knight Boy, little Bug Boy. That would be fun. I would love playing as Hollow Knight in Smash. And Silksong just came out, so I'll go ahead and put Miss Hornet up here. Sure. But everybody else, I think we're good. I don't think you need that guy, or this guy, or these characters. Barry from Jetpack Joyride, unironically, would make for a really good assist trophy. Where he just flies around and, rains bullets down on you or something. That could be fun. And we have characters with bullets. It's not a foreign concept to Smash. They could be rubber bullets or something. Lethal Company, it's popular. It was super popular at the time. But I don't think they are going to be their own fighter. Same thing with Singing Monsters. Octodad would be fun, because he's also in that Rivals of Aether, or that other, indie fighter game. But I don't think... I don't think he would be a fighter. We've got some people from Omori, which I have not played, but I don't think these guys are... I don't think they got the sauce enough to be a fighter. I don't know who this is. I want to say it's Ori and Will of the Wisps, but I'm not sure. Overcooked, I think we're good. I think we're good with this guy too. I don't think Pizza Tower would make it in, unfortunately. We've got Wario in the game. He could have a costume color representing Peppino. But I don't think he would make it in the game, And all these characters from Rivals of Aether, they've already got their own game. So it's hard to make a case for them being added. Other than the lion guy or something, or the frog ninja. I think Shantae definitely deserves to be in Smash, but I'll put her in maybe, because she's not an indie game, but she's definitely not super duper mainstream as much as some of the other characters on that list. Oh man, Shovel Knight I think definitely should be a fighter, but I'll also put him down here just because he is, he's an indie fighter, he's an indie character. And everybody else from Shovel Knight I will put down here. I don't know these characters here and here. I know Spelunky, but we have other dungeon crawler, Hades type games. I don't think she would get in. Meat Boy would be a fun assist trophy maybe. So I'll put him in as maybe, because he was very big back in the day. Terraria, I think we've already got Minecraft. I don't want to be that guy, but oh, sorry. If Minecraft is already in the game, I feel like having a Terraria or something from Terraria in the game would be a little redundant. Binding of Isaac, we've already got another dungeon crawler kind of thing. I don't think we need anybody from a Toho fighter game. Tunic, I think we're good. The guy from that really cool fast-paced shooter game, that would be cool, but I don't think they're as popular. They're obviously nowhere near as popular as like Terraria or Shovel Knight or something. Very unique character and gameplay style though, so who knows. But for now, I'm not thinking that would be it. For Undertale, a lot of these characters are obviously no, but I'll remove the ones that I feel are the most, or the most no, and I'll keep whoever's left. Oh, okay. I think Sans is probably the most likely to get in. I don't think Asuka would get in, actually. Sans would likely to get in. Just because he's got that, he's got the Mii fighter costume and everything. But I'll throw Frisk in there as well, in case you want to have something with them. I don't know. It's hard to make a moveset for a character that kind of just walks around, and whenever they enter a fight, they're just a little heart. But I'll put them as a maybe. I don't think Deltarune would get in, though, just because like Undertale is the more popular one. Untitled Goose Game, this thing from like I think Bitrunner or something. I don't know these three. And now we're left with the characters that are not from video games. I don't think. Let me go base. Let me sort these. We'll do Marvel first. Yeah, Spider-Man in Smash Brothers would be fire, but he's not from a video game. I mean, him and Batman are like the most popular superheroes in video games for sure. But Sakurai is very clear that they're not from a video game. That's not their game, you know. Have them be in like Marvel vs. Capcom or DC Injustice or something like that. We got Luke and Vader. They originated from the movies. Come on, guys. Same thing with James Bond. And Shrek. You know, he originated from the movies too. For TV shows, we've got Walter White, that would be pretty cool. I remember the hype around the possibility of Walter White being added to multiverses, and I thought that would have been so cool. But you know, it is what it is. Multiverses was not meant to be around for that long. We've got Ronald McDonald. I don't know why he's here. He's a food mascot. He's not a video game character though. Goku in Smash was a big thing, but again, Goku didn't come from a video game. I don't think he would be in. Same thing with Deku, same thing with Eren and Gon and Luffy, regrettably, and Naruto and Sasuke. SpongeBob, he's already in Nick All-Stars Brawl. He's fine. Rick from Rick and Morty, he's already in Multiverses. He's fine. Hatsune Miku, though. is a very interesting case. She's the last character on this roster. I legitimately think that she would be she would be like a character on a whole other tier of icon, kind of like how Sora was added, you know? When Sora was added, it kind of broke everything. And it's like, oh my god, the possibility, Disney collab. It's definitely a thing, it's possible. And Hatsune Miku is like, she's a star already. She's and I think that it could work, especially because she's already in Sega, that new Sonic Racing game. So it's possible. It's possible. It could work. But I think for now, we've done a pretty good job. And we've got 2 lists of no's, and actually I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and merge these lists. Well, actually, you know what? I'll leave them like that. Because for now, we've got a pretty nice list of... Yes, we didn't have a lot of additions this time, right? There's only 5 I feel where, like, we 100% should have these in the game. While everybody else is pretty much in the maybes. You know, it's Chibi Robo down. There's a lot to go through in the next stream for the maybes. But I'm excited to get to that point. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna delete the nose, and that way we don't have to scroll as far through all our choices. We'll delete that row as well. Alright, cool. And I'll move yes all the way up here to the top. And I'll put maybe right up there next to it. And I'll put not applicable at the very bottom. Assist trophy, okay. I'll move that one up. So we've got not available because obviously this doesn't count. These are like copies or whatever. In fact, I'm going to delete that too. Skins, assist trophy, stage hazard, Pokeball, maybes, which I'll go through on the next stream, and yeses. So far, this is a really nice list. I like this list so far. We've made it through so much. We've sifted through so much random stuff. So I'm very proud of how far I've made it with this list. I'm just gonna refresh it so the ones at the bottom are in order. Yeah, okay, cool. So cool. We did it. We've done it. I've done it. I've done it. It's all me. Ugh. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream there. We've made good progress. Next stream, I'm going to go through the maybes, and then we will finally finalize the perfect Smash Brothers roster. And I'm excited. It's going to be a good day. So I'll probably do that next weekend, after I get my haircut or something like that. Unless I get my haircut before then, and then I'll just do the stream. But yeah, y'all have a great day. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend and a great next week. And I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye. Bye everyone. Bye-bye.